Welcome to our lesson on using HTML elements and tags. Let's first look at some previous concepts like the Internet, the World Wide Web, and web pages. The World Wide Web consists of many multimedia websites. These websites can consist of a multitude of web pages. These websites and web pages can be accessed through the use of something called a web browser. Some examples of web browsers include Internet Explorer, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, and Google Chrome. So in your web browser, you would input the URL or web address in the top part of your screen, and that will navigate for you to the desired web page. You can also access web pages by clicking on links, which are usually blue and underlined on your screen. And that's something that you'll see, for instance, if you do a Google search. All those results that come up will be in the format of a hyperlink. Now, we're going to use HTML that consists of various markup codes to actually create web pages ourselves. So these markup codes are called tags. An HTML editor is used to create these web pages. I'm going to use something called Notepad++. You can also just use plain Notepad, but I have found that Notepad++ is a bit more user-friendly than just plain Notepad. Let's look at some of the tags that we have when we're going to create our web pages. The first one is called the HTML tag. HTML is short for Hypertext Markup Language, by the way. Okay. And this tag is used to indicate that you're going to use HTML to create a web page. Usually a tag consists of a start tag as well as an end tag, although some tags may only require a start tag. Right, so here's our start HTML. Starts with an angle bracket, HTML. Close your angle brackets. And then here's your end HTML tag. The next tag we're going to look at is called the head tag. And this tag will contain the title of your web page. That leads us to our title tag. Once again, this is called a container tag as it has both a start and end tag. The next tag is the body tag, and this will contain the main section or whatever is going to be displayed on your web page. We also have some text formatting tags, like the heading tags. We have heading 1 to heading 6, where heading 1 is the largest and heading 6 is the smallest. Then we have our paragraph tags. These paragraph tags will force your text into a paragraph on your screen. This is called a break tag, and this will force text into the next line on your screen. Here's our horizontal ruler tag, and this will create a horizontal line on your screen. This is the bold tag, and this will make text on your web page display as bold, so slightly bigger than the normal or thicker than the normal font. Here's the italics tag, and then we also have something called comment tags. Whatever you put in between these two tags will not be displayed on your web page. So let's look at how all of these tags are used to create a simple web page. I'm going to go to my editor now, which is Notepad++, and here's a simple web page that I've designed. So let's start at the top. So like we said, you're going to start with your HTML tag to tell the computer that you're going to be using the HTML language to create a web page. Also note that it has a corresponding closing tag at the end of the document. Then I use the head tag to add the title, which is my web page. This title will appear on the tab in your actual web browser. I'll show you how that looks in a minute. I've closed my title tags, and then I closed my head tags. The next section is the body tags. So here I've used heading 1 to create a heading called my heading 1, and then I've typed in some information. I've started a new paragraph, and here I've applied bold settings to the words first attempt, and I've ended my paragraph. I started a second paragraph where I've used the break tag to move this part of the sentence to the next line. I've inserted another heading, but this time instead of using heading 1, I used heading 6, so it's going to be much smaller. And then in my next paragraph, I used the italics tab to change the words very important to italics. I've also added a comment, and I've said here that this comment will not be displayed on the web page. So let's actually have a look at what this will look like on an actual web page. So I'm going to run, and I'm going to launch my website in Chrome. This is a nice feature of Notepad++. In Notepad, you'll have to do it slightly differently. Okay, so let's launch this. So right at the top on my tab, you'll see here it says My Web Page. That's where I inserted the title in the head section. Then I've got my heading 1, and I've got my first paragraph. And over here, you'll notice that I've got bold script. Let's just zoom in so you can see this properly. Okay. On the next line, I had, let us see if I can force the rest of the sentence. Over here, I had a break tag to move the rest of the sentence onto a new line. Here I used the HR tag to insert a horizontal line. Then I used the heading 6 or H6 tag to create my heading 6. Note how much smaller this heading is when compared to the first heading type that I used. Then I also used the italics tags to change very important to italics, as well as some paragraph tags to create the paragraphs on this web page. And that concludes our lesson on how to use HTML elements and tags.